Hello and welcome to week 7 of EU 512. This will be the last recording for this course. So let's get started. I will post these slides, and what I would love for you guys to do is watch this video for inspiration for your own example of kids say the darndest things. It is just, some of you may remember that show. Just a clip from Kids Say the Darndest Things. And what I would like you to do as part of the warm welcome and as your response to the initial remarks is enter your own Kids Say the Darndest Things story. It could be recent, it could be 5 years ago, but it's never been topped. You could even tell us about any child in your life, a niece, a son, a godchild, etc. If at all possible to upload an audio or video file, that's great. If the idea of that stresses you out, you can simply type it out as a narrative. Keep it simple. It's supposed to be fun. Add it into the initial remarks thread, and you do not need to respond to anybody, but if you have time to read some of them, you may find them funny or uplifting. This week's learning outcomes are to grow as a community of learners while implementing Castle's 3 signature practices: warm welcome, engaging activities, and optimistic close, and to wrap up loose ends and celebrate the conclusion of EDU 512. I also plan on giving some suggestions for moving forward in the program towards the end here. So this week we have 2 discussion boards. Discussion board 1, respond to the following questions and make sure you reply to 2 peers. Go away. I can't get this text box to go away. As I'm using the wrong keyboard. As educators, what are our ethical obligations towards the general public? And as educators, what are our ethical obligations to the profession? Bonus, is there a difference? All right. First, please review this recent news story about Minnesota ex-police officer who was denied a Minnesota substitute teaching license and now has had the judgment appealed. There is a video clip that should be in the week 7 materials section, and it's also noted below. Hopefully that works, but it's about the ex-cop who fatally shot Philando Castile, trying to become a substitute teacher. And then review the Minnesota Code of Conduct for Educators and share your thoughts if you think he's violated any of the codes listed. For this one, you don't have to reply to any peers, but I do suggest you go back and look at some of your peers' responses. Excuse me. Calendar check. Due this Saturday, the Normative Leadership Theories Impact paper. Hopefully you've been working on that for a couple weeks and you're just wrapping it up. If not, good luck. I think you all can do it. I've been impressed with your writing so far. Side note, I am also teaching the capstone class right now, so I will not be getting to grading any of your guys' stuff until probably Wednesday of this week, as I am grading 16 40-ish page papers right now. There are 2 discussion boards for week 8. There will not be an opening video. Those are due Wednesday, October 23rd. Feel free to do them this week. Final grades are due pretty shortly after that, but I'm eager to get them to you as soon as I can. So if you had everything turned in this weekend, it is possible that your final grade would be posted as soon as they open final grading for me. Reminder about assignment 4. You are to choose one of the normative leadership theories found in Johnson's chapter 8. Determine which one most aligns with you, or 2 if you can't choose one, with your values and philosophy as an ethical leader, and describe how your professional practice is influenced by that normative leadership theory, and how you will seek to refine or improve your leadership style in the future. Please refer to the assignment rubric. And this is a 5 to 7 page paper, not including your cover page or your reference pages. You must include a description or definition of one of the leadership theories, an explanation with examples of how it aligns with your educational philosophy and values, describe your professional practice and how the leadership theory has influenced it, and describe at least 2 areas of leadership that you would seek to improve or refine in the future. Provide examples. You must have a minimum of 3 citations from the course text in this paper. You're encouraged to have other ones besides those 3 required ones. And this is informal APA, so use of the first person voice is acceptable. You can say I. So take note of that. Next, I have some thoughts on how to be successful in this program. Not necessarily in any order. First one is don't get trapped in bad habits. So if you find yourself in a course falling behind, not finishing the readings, not posting, try to change that for the next course. Don't make it a pattern, because generally that type of habit continues to get worse throughout the program. Make sure you read the syllabus and the rubrics in the syllabus. I have a student in another course who very clearly did not look at the minimum requirements in the rubrics for a very large assignment. If something says you must have 15 of these and you only have 8, that is problematic. So make sure before you turn in a big assignment, you open up your syllabus and look at how it's going to be graded, because we all try to go off of those rubrics as closely as possible. I have not talked to a professor yet who doesn't use those rubrics, because that is what we're giving to you guys as guidelines. If you're going to be turning in something late, communicate with your professor. I tend to be pretty laid back about that. As long as things are turned in before I'm grading, I'm generally okay with it. And if you communicate with me, I've never had somebody communicate with me and I've said, no, you must turn it in on time. So just make sure you communicate with your professor. When possible, do more than the minimum. What I mean by that is, if an assignment asks you to suggest 3 things that could be done and you suggest 4, I'm gonna pick the 3 best when I'm grading. So if you do a little bit more than the minimum, not a lot more. If I ask for a 6-page paper and you give me a 20-page paper, I'm going to be very sad. But what I'm saying is, for content, if you do a little bit more than a minimum, that's not bad. When you're responding to peers, if you respond to 3 instead of 2, professors note those things. They notice that you're giving extra effort. And then remember, you're more than likely to have professors more than once. And while the impressions from the classes last, they can be changed. I've had some students who never turned in discussion boards or never respond to peers, were turning in every assignment late. And so I get to the next class I have with them, and I'm fully expecting that to continue. And it doesn't. And I'm very pleasantly surprised. When it does continue, it gets really hard to give those extensions and give the benefit of the doubt when those bad habits are continuing. So just keep that in mind. Try not to be the person who the professor remembers as never turning stuff in on time, or not doing even the minimum number of responses, or getting responses in late. It just makes it very hard as a professor to be giving the benefit of the doubt when over 3-4 courses it's the same pattern of not getting stuff in on time. And I want to give the benefit of the doubt, I really do, because I know that this master's program is on top of all of your regular life, so it's already extra work. And lastly, that's a wrap. It's been my extreme pleasure. Wow, I could not type when I was doing this morning. Serving as your instructor these last weeks. I wish you well. I'm always just an email away if you ever, even in another course, need anything. I have taught at this point probably a majority of the classes. So if you have questions, I might ask for the syllabus just so I can review something. And I might just respond, I haven't had this class before, so I can't help you out much, but I will try to. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for being educators. I know it's not an easy job, but you all do a great job. And please note, there will not be a week 8 slide deck.